Hi, everybody. So I was reading my daily devotional today, and it comes from John chapter 6, verse 9. Here's a boy with 5 small barley loaves and 2 small fish, but how far will they go among so many? So this is a story where Jesus was preaching the gospel, and it went well into the night, and he told his followers and disciples to go find food for everybody. The disciples didn't have enough money. The little boy came forth with his 5 loaves and 2 fish and said, I want to give this. And Jesus turned that and multiplied it and fed everyone. So what the meaning of that story is it really just opened my eyes to how much faith do we have right now? How much do you have faith in God that he's going to provide for you? How little do you have in your situation that you're willing to give God everything and watch God multiply it in ways you never seen? While Jesus' disciples were believers, in reality, some could say they acted like atheists when it came to their faith. They were right next to the man who they seen bless miracles and create and do many miraculous things. But they had little faith when it came to feeding all these people because they said there's no town close enough to shop at. They have few pennies to buy food for everyone. But this little boy was so little he had to offer, said, Lord, I want to give you this so that you can feed the people. So that little boy had more faith than Jesus' disciples. And that's why I want to encourage everyone. It doesn't matter if you're a believer or a non-believer. How much faith do you have today? How much faith do you have in God that he will provide for you and supply all your needs, even in the midst of this uncertainty, even in the midst of the storm that we're in? How much faith do you have that God will supply for you and give you the things necessary for you to achieve life? This is the reality that we face right now. I received so many messages and phone calls from people where I've heard people say, I don't know how I'm going to feed my children. I don't know how I'm going to pay the rent. I don't know where my next check will come from so that I can keep the lights on and the gas on and the water on. The reality is, if you have little faith right now, how much faith did you really have when things were going so well for you? The truth is, when things are so good, it's easy for us to say we believe. But it's when things are not going right in our lives that our faith is truly tested. And this is the moment where we have to ask ourselves, how much faith do we truly have in God? I can tell you right now, I haven't worked since January 3rd of 2020. Not because I did not want to work, but because I left a job who did not appreciate me and did not appreciate my skill sets. But God said, don't go into 2020 with this same job. So I left that job, didn't have another job lined up. But I can tell you this, my faith has never wavered. Every month, my bills have been paid. Every day I get up and I hunt for a new job and new work, do some consulting work here, help out people here and there. My faith has never wavered. My prayer life has never changed. It has grown more and more each and every day. I have not missed a meal. I have not missed a time to put gas in my car because God has provided me. As many times as my bank account from January 3rd to now has hit the negative, it always bounces right back to the positive. And I can tell you right now, my faith, even in the midst of the coronavirus, hasn't wavered either. I'm still going to go out here and do everything that I need to do with cautious prayer, with cautious measures, and make sure that I'm taking care of those who are probably lost, confused, and uncertain right now. Because I can tell you right now that your faith should not waver. You should not waver, and you should not give up in moments like this. You should be like that little boy, willing and able to give your last to the Lord, who will provide for you in your time of need. And you will see great things happen just by believing, keeping your faith, not doubting, staying positive, and knowing that God will provide for you in the end. This is the story I tell you, and I encourage you to go read that scripture and dig deeper into it so that you can see that when you give what you have to the Lord, and it might not be a lot, God will multiply it and fulfill all your needs.